How's it going, guys? Diego from SGN back with another Mortal Kombat video, and this is going to be my top 5 characters that I don't want to see in Mortal Kombat 11. And these are the most garbage characters that NetherRealm and Midway have ever created, and I hope that they never make it back into a game, unless it's to get murdered very early on. Starting off with number 5, actually I'm going to give you an honorable mention before I get into this. It is Mocap. The only reason I didn't put Mocap on the full list is because he really is just a joke character. They didn't actually make him to try to be somebody, to be part of the lore. He was just kind of there as a joke because they wanted to put in Daniel Pazina in the game. And Carlos Pazina. They wanted to put him in the game, and that's pretty much it. He was just there to be funny and just be an unlockable guy that is just going to give you a little bit of a giggle. That's pretty much it. But the rest of the characters on this list, they were actually there to kind of have a reason in the lore, to actually be a character to possibly go on in the future Mortal Kombat games, and that's why they absolutely deserve to get roasted. Starting off with number 5, Suhao, which is basically just a random, even more generic version of Kano. Like Kano, he was pretty boring early on, I would say. He at least had the laser beam and stuff like that, and he kind of got cool because of the Mortal Kombat movie. From then on, he just became more boring and more boring, and Suhao is essentially just him. If you look at him, they pretty much decided, all right, we're going to take a white guy and make him Asian. All right, we're gonna take Kano and just gonna make him an Asian version of Kano. Instead of having a laser beam eye or whatever, an eye beam, we're gonna put it on his chest. That way, he's technically a little bit different. So he's basically just another random character with cybernetics, with zero interest, zero actual backstory, and is just kind of there. And that really sucks. I would love to see him coming back just to get tortured or just to get murdered early on in the video, in the game. Just watch him get destroyed early on. But realistically, he was killed in the comic, and good riddance. He has absolutely no reason being in the Mortal Kombat universe anymore. And who knows, man. He might come back eventually, but if he does, I literally hope it's just to get killed very early on. Number 4 is, I would say, probably the most boring character. Not the most boring character, but the most uninspired character in Mortal Kombat, which is Darius. They just took a random guy and gave him a Bruce Lee outfit as his alternate costume, which is the Game of Death outfit. And I like the outfit, of course, but on him, it's just kind of blasphemous. Like, he is extremely boring. He's literally just a random dude. He has zero, there's nothing interesting about him. And the fact that he was there and they gave him a Bruce Lee outfit, it really did kind of annoy me. I'm not going to lie. Moving forward, it kind of pisses me off even more. But it is what it is. Just hopefully this guy will never come back. Because if he does, we're going to see a lot of people complaining about it, including myself. Number 3, and realistically, this person should be probably higher on this list, but it is Jackie Briggs. And I mean, you take a boring Special Forces character, you make it even more boring, and you get Jackie Briggs. Like, what's really the point of her being in there? She doesn't really have a point. She's like Cassie Cage's just untalented, useless friend. She's just kind of there. She's just another boring, bland Special Forces character. Like, it's bad enough that we already have Sonya, who's boring. We also have Jax, who, if it wasn't for the fact that he's a very unique playstyle, he'd be boring. He'd be useless. You go and you make sort of like a blend between them and have Jackie Briggs. Does anybody like to play her? Absolutely not. I've never seen anybody be out there be like, all right, I'm going to really enjoy playing this character because I like what she does. I like her style. I like all that stuff. There's a few people I saw in tournaments. That's just because they can spam weapons and stuff like that. But realistically, the character is extremely boring and is just absolutely useless. And I hope this character is a one-game wonder. Like, I hope not even a wonder, just only has a presence in one single game and never has a main roster slot ever again. She's boring as shit, and she has absolutely no business being in Mortal Kombat 11. Number 2, and this character, generally, like, I always put this as like my least favorite character, but number 1 is on a special type of trash just because of how fucking uninspired that character was. But number 2 is Darius. I mean, just look at this guy. Atrocious outfit. Atrocious everything. His playstyle was garbage. Everything about him was boring. And it really did show how much of a lack of ideas they had towards the end of that 3D era. When you look at the peak level of garbage characters, like, maybe the average quality of those characters wasn't that bad, but the worst characters in Mortal Kombat history all came in the 3D era, in my opinion. And Darius is the absolute epitome of this because he just looks stupid. He's not fun to play as. He has a garbage story. And he's just boring as hell. And number 1, he has to be number 1 because he's an absolute copycat of Street Fighter, and it is Cobra. And listen, he's number 1 on this list. I actually honestly forgot about him completely because realistically, like, I didn't even consider him a Mortal Kombat character because he's literally just Ken. He's literally just Ken with a different look, and just a slightly different look. And he's that bad. Street Fighter, listen, I get it. Everybody loves their gameplay. They think it's an amazing series and stuff like that. They like it, and it is what it is. Your opinion is what you like. That's all it is. I don't care. Like, if you enjoy it, good for you. Every time I've tried to play Street Fighter over the years, I find it extremely boring. After about 30 minutes to an hour, I turn that shit off and uninstall it from my console. Because the characters, to me, are extremely boring. So if you take one of the least interesting characters in that fucking series, Ken, and you bring him over to Mortal Kombat, he just looks completely out of place. He has zero business being there. And honestly, he just looks like a dumbass. What's the point of him being there other than being like, ha, look at that. We copied a guy from Street Fighter. I'm trying to beat up Ken over here. That's pretty much all he's there for, and I hope that he never comes back. Ever, ever, ever. And if he does come back for some weird reason, just give him something different. Make him a completely different looking character. Like, okay, we had him as a funny little joke character over there once, but now we're actually going to make him something worth the shit and actually, progress him as a character that has his own unique look and does actually have an interesting story. But the Ken that the Ken, see, I can't even call him Cobra because he's really just Ken. The Cobra that we know as he is now is just a useless piece of shit that has no reason being in the Mortal Kombat series. And honestly, guys, I don't have any pleasure in going after these characters like this in this certain way, but honestly, I just want to show you guys like how much of a dislike, how much of a hatred I have for these characters, because honestly, these are the kind of characters that when other people that aren't Mortal Kombat fans look at it, they can point to these are like, you have some really awful characters. Like, Mortal Kombat has some amazing characters, and for the most part, they are really, really solid. At the very least, they're interesting. But these guys right here, anybody who sees these characters can immediately point out to these guys and be like, listen, those were some absolute duds, and there were some absolute garbage characters that have no business being in a popular fighting game. And honestly, if they ever bring any of these guys back, I'm going to do a video just roasting them. And listen, I love Mortal Kombat. You guys know this. But if they bring this back, I will have to go after NetherRealm Studios and roast them because it is what it is. And I might just be in a bad mood today because I am kind of in a bad mood. And I felt like this video is this is the proper day to do it. And it might be a little bit more negative than some of my other Mortal Kombat videos. Actually, it is a lot more negative than all my Mortal Kombat videos, but the list is what it is. It's literally just a list about garbage characters. So I want you to let me know in the comment section down below what you think of the characters I mentioned. Do you like them? Do you think they're trash? Let me know. And which ones do you think should possibly replace them in your personal list? If you enjoyed the video, please smash the like button and subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell. That way you get a notification every single time I put out a video and you're one click away from watching it. Also, once again, guys, a big shout out to Judgment Fist for helping me out with artwork and stuff like that for thumbnails and intros to videos. She's a great artist, and I definitely recommend you check her out. I'll leave all the links in the description down below. And guys, I just want to say one last thing before I go. Like I said, all my Mortal Kombat videos are about positivity and showing my love for Mortal Kombat and really building up a community. This video was just to show how garbage these characters are. So all my videos are actually really positive and are a lot more lighthearted than this one. So if this is your first time watching it, I definitely say go give those a shot. I'm not usually like this for Mortal Kombat. It's just that this particular list really, really, really had some garbage characters and deserved to be roasted. So guys, that is it for the video. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.